A pleasant afternoon to everybody. Our report will be on water resources. And for the members, hi, I'm Andrea Nicole Arvilla-Santa.
Hello, I'm Julian Marquis Ferrara.
Hi, I'm Gladwin Maramag.
Hi, I'm Guy Francis Pagdaan.
And we're from the SIP Group 7. So for the first report, water use and resource problem in the Philippines. Did you know that about 101 million Filipinos, 9 million rely on unimproved, unsafe, and unsustainable water resources? Those without sanitary toilet facility at home face a number of unattractive choices, including venturing out at night or suffering the embarrassment of asking a neighbor to use their toilet. Thus, Filipinos consider water and sanitation access a matter of safety, pride, progress, and convenience, in addition to the health considerations. Over 19 million lack access to unimproved sanitation. And 75% of surveyed Filipinos expressed an interest in a water and sanitation loan. Now we have over-extraction. Obtaining too much water from any source wherein the environment can be affected negatively. So we have to construct wells in order to extract it. If the water table is relatively close to the surface, such as this, there are many types of drills that can be used. A well has to be drilled at least as deep as a water table, but in fact, it can go much deeper because the water table may change from season to season. Groundwater extraction is the extraction of groundwater from underground. As an example is a well. As I've said earlier, it goes deeper and deeper as a well says. So for example, this is a well. So this is well A, this is well B, and this is well C. You can all see that it is connected. Now, for example, if well C is drained too much, then well B and A will be affected due to their aquifer or higher groundwater head toward the pumping well where the groundwater head is now lower. That is how a well gets water from the ground. The water table or photometric surface will slope in toward the well where the water is being withdrawn. That indicates the energy gradient that is allowing water to flow toward the well. Afterwards, we have subsidence.
So we will talk about subsidence. Subsidence is what happens when the ground sinks because of an underground movement or of materials. Now, from the word subside, meaning to go down or below a normal level. As you can see here in this picture, this was once a part of this hole. It was covering the hole. But due to subsidence, the ground compacted and made the opening of the hole wider. Subsidence occurs when fluids take more from the aquifer than it is to replace. What is aquifer? Aquifer are aquifer is a body of rock that is permeable with water. So this is a body of rock considering permeability with water. This is full of water within the pores of the rock. So meaning if the aquifer's body of water evaporated or became less than it is replaced, the aquifer will compact, resulting into subsidence, that which will lower down to its original or normal level. Next. To measure subsidence, we may use these following measurements: the GPS, Global Positioning System, NOAA, or National Geodetic Survey, which manages CORS. So CORS is part of NOAA, Continuously Operating Referencing System, station, and INSAR, Interferometric Synthetic Aperture Radar, which is a radar which uses to measure old photos when these three are not available. And then next we have salt water intrusion.
Now, for saltwater intrusion is when saline water moves into freshwater aquifers, as explained by Mr. Serrara before, wherein contamination can happen with its drinking water sources. So saltwater intrusion occurs naturally to some degree in most coastal aquifers, owing to hydraulic connection between groundwater and seawater. Now, to further delve in deeper with the saltwater intrusion, we could use the Ginn-Herzberg relation. Now, the Ginn-Herzberg relation is the first physical formulation of saltwater intrusion. And they derive analytical solutions to approximate the intrusion behavior, which are based on a number of assumptions that do not hold in all field cases. So the equation entails that Z, where Z is equals to the below the sea level, and PF is the density of fresh water, PS is the density of salt water, and H is the thickness of freshwater zone above sea level. Now for PF, there is a constant. The constant is 1.000 grams per cubic centimeter. And for density of salt water, it is 1.025 grams per cubic. And now what we could do is we could simplify this equation. By simplifying this equation, it will look like this. Minus and the equation will look like so that's how you simplify it. So for example, we have a given of 40 meters in thickness. So what you're going to do is you could either use this long solution or you could use this one. So for example, our given for the thickness is 40 meters. So that's the thickness of fresh water, above sea level. So that's the height, so 40. So it would go like 40. It will become. So below sea level is 1,600 meters. Okay, so that's the Ginn-Herzberg relation. And next we have, yes, that's the equation. Contamination.
All right, I'm back. So, so far we have discussed over extrusion, subsidence, and saltwater intrusion. Now we go to contamination. Contamination is a form of water pollution wherein bodies of water are polluted or contaminated. The main cause mainly are humans polluting our water resources. And the bodies of waters are considered as lakes, oceans, seas, and many more. There are two types of water pollution. One is marine pollution and one is nutrient pollution. In pollution of surface waters includes pollutions of rivers, lakes, and oceans. A subset of surface waters pollution is marine. Surface water pollution is a marine pollution, meaning that all subsets, all surface waters we see here on Earth are considered surface water pollution when the waters are polluted. Marine pollution are examples of polluted rivers. Pollution such as this occurs particularly in developing nations. So, marine pollutions, those are the pollutions that mainly produced in rivers, and particularly as such in developing nations. groundwater pollution, are also referred to as groundwater contamination, is not as easily classified as surface water pollution. So it is different from surface water because groundwater is located beneath or within the earth. So that is groundwater pollution. Pollution happening within the ground. Then we go to water management presented by Gladwin.
Water management. Water management is the activity of planning, developing, distributing, and optimum use of water resources under defined water policies and regulations. It includes management of water resources, management of food protection, etc.
So according to Rogers and Hall, the range of political, economic, and administrative systems that are in place to develop and manage water resources and the delivery of water resources at different levels of society.
Water management helps determine future irrigation and expectations.
So there are 8 legal frameworks that govern the water sector in the Philippines. Now, why is it important to determine these 8 legal frameworks? It is important to determine these 8 legal frameworks as they are on the basis of our Constitution, and we have the right to know what these legal frameworks are. So, Gladwin, President.
Presidential Decree 1067, Water Code 1976. For this Presidential Decree, explain na yan. There are 5 methods of water management. First is wastewater system.
So there is a wastewater system, irrigation systems, conserving water and caring for the natural water supplies, and effective implementation of plans. So these are the 5 methods of water management in which water can be managed through these 5 methods. For example, wastewater systems. Wastewater systems are, for example, the sewers you see outside. For example, those sewers are when we discrete these things, these sewers carry them outside. And for the irrigation systems, these are what is needed so that we could irrigate the water in our system. So next is the water quality parameters. So in water quality, we need to determine that it has dissolved oxygen, pH, biochemical oxygen demand, and total coliform organisms. Water conservation.
Water conservation is the practice of using water efficiently to reduce unnecessary water usage. According to Freshwater Watch, water conservation is important because fresh, clean water is limited resource, as well as costly one. As a homeowner, you're probably already aware of the financial cost of inefficient water use. Conservation of this natural resource is critical for the environment. Importance of water conservation. Fresh, clean water is limited resource. While most of planet is covered in water, it is salt water that can be consumed by human and other species after undergoing desalination, which is an expensive process. National Water Resource Board is the government agency that is responsible for all water resources in the Philippines regarding water resource and potable water. It coordinates and regulates all water-related activities in the country that has impact on the physical environment and the economy. It is created in 1974 as the government coordinating and regulating agency for all water resource management development activities. It is tasked with the formulation and development of policies on water utilization. And it tasked with the formulation and development policy on water utilization and appropriation, control and supervision of water utilities and franchises, and the regulation and rationalization of water rates.
So the National Water Resource Board is committed to ensure sustainable water for a healthy nation through equitable water allocation, regulation of water service providers, and preservation of flow regime. Now, these National Water Resource Board is a government organization that entails the data that is needed to supply these, for example, non-government organizations that would need these data so that they could further delve in deeper into water resources and management and explain it through a sustainable thesis or research. So that's where these students or teachers go to.
Quality policy. The National Water Resource Board is committed to ensure sustainable water for healthy nation through equitable water allocation, regulation of water service providers, and preservation of flow regime.
And finally, the vision of Water Resource Board is sustainable water for a healthy nation, and mission is to allocate sufficient water for optimal, beneficial, to ensure access and adequate sanitation services, to preserve flow regime and ecological integrity. So that is the end of our report. Thank you for listening.